Buongiorno everyone, welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. We've got Wolves Friday night. I've got Dave from Talking Wolves. How we doing, mate?
I'm all good, mate. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure, mate. Pleasure. So, only a couple of days now till the big game, Friday night. Are you looking forward to it? Are you confident heading to St James's Park? I mean, you probably will be if you watch the Spurs game.
I don't know, mate. I think because I've looked at obviously your games, obviously lost the last three, but before that you're on really good form. So, and like we said earlier on, it's a bit of a draw derby. This one always seems to end in a sort of a 1-1 draw. So I'm not confident. I'm not overly confident that we're going to get 3 points. I think it'll be a tight game, tough game between two teams, but. You know, we played really well against Villa, even without Neves and without Jimenez. So, you know, I could take some positives going into the game, definitely.
That's the thing for me, because I was looking at Newcastle, obviously 3 losses in a row now. 2 of those away to top London clubs in Spurs and Chelsea. And then I was looking towards these 3 home games Newcastle have got in quick succession as well. Wolves Friday night, Leicester next Sunday, and then Palace Wednesday just after that. I was thinking Wolves, dangerous side Wolves. You mentioned we always seem to draw against each other. And I was looking, Jimenez is out, brilliant. Oh, Neves is out, fantastic. And then I watched your game again in the derby, and it seemed like a comfortable win, really. So, I mean, I look at that Wolves team, and I was looking up top. What have you made for Wolves players who can step in and take over the big roles from Jimenez, who obviously you were out with him for a while not long ago with that head injury? How is that Fabio Silva and players that are getting on?
See, last year when we had Jimenez injured, we brought, obviously we had Fabio Silva and we brought in Willian Jose from Spain, and he was no good. He was rubbish. And Silva's obviously had a year in England, spent the summer really focusing on his physicality. He's really bulked up, so he's a much bigger player now and physically a lot stronger. That was only his 3rd start in the Premier League, I think, this season. He's had a lot of Premier League cameos, although it was only his 3rd start. He has already made 50 Premier League appearances for us across the 2 years. But he had a really good game. I think all that was missing on Saturday was his goal. He was voted by Wolves fans as man of the match. I think Matinho was probably would have edged it for me, but that shows how well he did. And I think with the amount of chances we created, we wasted a lot of opportunities against Villa. You know, it could have been a little bit like the Brentford game. They just seemed every shot they had against Chelsea seemed to go in. And that could have been a little bit like that for us on Saturday. We had some big chances which we wasted, just lacking that little bit of confidence in front of goal. And I think with Fabio Silva, if he can get that, obviously, you know, like they say, you know, they score 1 goal, they'll all start to come flying in. And I think he needs that because we need to put a bit more pressure on Jimenez. Jimenez is, although he's come back from injury, everyone just expected him to slot straight back into that striker role and be the same Jimenez as he was, and he hasn't been. There have been some games where he's been really poor. So we do need a second striker to start putting the pressure on, and I'm hoping and I'm confident that Fabio Silva long-term can be that player.
Because obviously you got rid of Adama Traore as well, didn't you? And everyone make sure you check out Talking Wolves, where me and Dave have talked about Traore, St. Maximin, and plenty of other cracking topics on there. How are you dealing about Traore? What was your opinion when you sold him?
It was a difficult one because we had that discussion about St. Maximin, and I think that this is a very, very similar situation. He'll get us off our feet. He'll get us very excited, but at the same time, you're almost expecting in the back of your head, you know, nothing's going to come from whatever he's doing. And that happened a lot with Adama. He got to a point now where he was refusing to sign a new contract at the club. He thought that he should have been the highest paid player at the club, but when at the time he hadn't even got a goal or assist in the Premier League season, how can you be demanded over 100 grand a week? So at the start of the season, we rejected 40 million from Spurs for him. And obviously, you know, now he's gone to Barca on loan with an option to buy. I still don't know whether Barca are going to trigger that option. But we've dealt with it a lot better than I expected, to be honest. I thought he was going to be a real miss for us. But a couple of players have stepped up. Neto's come back from injury and looked okay. Trincao, the last couple of games, he's really stepped up. So I think as a team, although Adama was great for us, as a team, we just seem a bit more complete. We actually want to play football. Whereas last year it was plan A, pass the ball to Adama, plan B, pass the ball to Adama. And if that didn't work, we were stuffed, really. So this season, I think we're able to play a little bit more football, which is good. A bit more appealing to watch as well.
literally the same as us when we had Bruce and St. Maximin. Bruce's entire tactics and instructions was just to give the ball to Alan St. Maximin and hope that he can do something special.
Yeah.
But another thing with Wolves is another good season for Wolves, even after changing the manager. And the thing is with me is when I was talking about these games coming up and I was looking towards, can we get a point here? Can we win here? I was thinking maybe Wolves' season was over, but due to results around you, probably not, would you say? I mean, you're sitting in 8th, you're 2 points off Man United. They do have a game in hand. You're only 2 points off West Ham as well. So top 6 is still a possibility, isn't it? Real possibility.
The frustrating thing is we chucked away that game against Leeds a couple of weeks ago where we were 2-0 up. And
tell us about it.
I
wish I'd have won that as well.
I know. Well, if we had the 3 points there, imagine where we'd be now. And there's games like that, and there's like games more recently against Arsenal where we've thrown things away. 1-0 up and we lost 2-1 with 2 late goals, and just 2 games like that. I know it's across a 38-game season. I could pinpoint about 6 or 7 games where we should have done better. But there are also games that we've won where we probably shouldn't have won, if you know what I mean. So we're in a good position. And like you said, there have been results gone our way, like United and West Ham dropping points here and there, which have really kept us in the race. But what I like a lot is that we're sat in 8th place and we've got a huge cushion on the team below us. We've got about 11 point cushion, which is unheard of for us, really. We're in a really comfortable position. And I think that win against Villa, I think at the time they were the closest team to us, that win against Villa, for me, has pretty much got us at least an 8th place finish. I would hate for us to go on a little, a late run and drop down the table. But I think we've done enough now to finish in the top 8 and put ourselves in a really good position to possibly get European football.
It's incredible to see the rise from Wolves from a few years ago. Well, even being in League One and stuff, weren't you? And then getting those European nights recently, and then obviously striving to get that again this year. We've talked about Eddie Howe on your channel in the preview. Just quickly on Bruno Lage, thoughts about him when he got appointed, expectations, has he exceeded them? What's your thoughts on him?
100% exceeded them for me. At the time, I remember when they announced Nuno leaving, Bruno Lage, for the press and all the big journos, he was the man. And I just thought, I just hope someone's wrong here, because I look at his experience. He did well at Benfica, to be fair. He came into them as like almost a makeshift first team manager, but he finished like a season unbeaten. So he had league titles to his name, but that was his only experience. So I was a little bit worried about that. But he's come in and proved me wrong. A little bit shaky in pre-season, but first 3 games of the season, we were phenomenal. We came away with 0 points, but we were better than United, Spurs and Leicester. And that gave me a little bit of hope. And yeah, mate, we've done well. There's been a lot of times this season where I've questioned what he's done. I haven't agreed with a couple of things, but ultimately, probably, he's proved me wrong a lot more times than I expected. So yeah, he's doing the business, mate. I'm really happy with him, and I think long-term future looks really bright for him. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, he's done well defensively as well. He got one of the best defensive records. I mean, I think away from home, there's only Man City and there was one other side who got a better defensive record than you in the entire Premier League. So that's worrying for Newcastle on Friday night, where the goals are going to come from and how they're going to get them. But before we go, we'll show you how we think the goals will come and what we think is the best team in Friday night's game. Because as you can see in the top right corner and on the ticker below, we are sponsored by BetMate. So are Talking Wolves. So as David said on his channel, a bit of a BetMate derby, this one. And there is stakes at hand here, right? There isn't just money and pride to play for. There is a forfeit going on here, right? Between me, Dave, Matt and Keg. One of us will be wearing the opponent's kit. So it's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to be in orange.
Are we going shorts and socks as well, or is it just the top?
I don't know if BetMate have got the budget for that, mate. But if they have, tell them to get it done, right? And then we'll meet up during the summer. We'll have 5 aside. And whoever's playing shin pads, yeah? Newcastle shin pads, mate.
All sorts, yeah.
So, yeah, one of us, me or Keg from the Magpie channel, or Dave or Matt from Talking Wolves, will be wearing rather a Wolves top or a Newcastle top. So, interesting stuff. See who wins that one. Whoever finishes lowest in the leaderboard will be done in the opposition's top. As you can see, description. The link is in the description. Click on it. Play against us as well. Enter for a chance to win. It's only £3. Have a bit of fun. Fantasy football. Tell you what we'll do. Quickly, very quickly. Talk me through that team there, Dave.
Well, yeah, I've gone with a pretty Wolves heavy side there. I've gone with Sarr, Johnny and Kilman. Like you said, our defensive record's not too bad. Johnny's actually scored 2 in 2, so I'm hoping that he'll start again and get another goal contribution. I've gone with Bruno Guimaraes in the middle for you guys. Pedence as well for us seems a bit of a live wire at the moment. Fabio Silva should definitely start for Wolves. I'm hoping he bags a goal. And I've gone with Chris Wood because historically he's got a good record against with scoring against Wolves. So I have backed one of your boys there.
Love that, mate. Love that. I'm glad you mentioned because I've put Wood in as well. So I'm glad that was even before I knew he had a good record against you. Just because without Jimenez, and I just thought I'm going to chuck him in there. Mine, I'm interested to know what you think about my Wolves choices here. Actually, I went for 3 of them. So Bolly, because I think Bolly scored against us the other year. I think he did, and I just think he's going to be a threat from set pieces. Dendonk, I don't know. I've got this thing about Dendonk. I like him. He probably won't even get that many points, but I've always just liked him when I've watched him play. Alongside Bruno in the middle of the park. St. Maximin is my captain. He's got to turn up sooner or later, getting a bit of stick from some Newcastle fans. He's due one of those top class performances we know he can deliver. And then an interesting one as well, Jamal Lascelles at the back. I think Captain Lascelles might come back in for Burn or Shaw because of recent results. And then, like I said, Wood up top because. But the best thing is, if Lascelles isn't playing or one of those players drops out with BetMate, you can change the team 5 minutes before kickoff. So when you see the lineups come out, one of your lads isn't in there, switch them out. Nice and easy. But that'll do then, Dave. Who's winning in there? Who's got the better team there?
I hope it's me, mate. I don't want to be done in the Newcastle top, but Matt's on good form as well. So not just for this derby, I need to prove Matt wrong as well. So he's doing much better than me at the moment. So
I think Matt's taking he's some fantasy football whiz kid. Him and he studies it. I think I'm just quick with it. I think he's spending hours.
Big players, I know, mate. He's looking at interceptions and all sorts, XG and all sorts. I'm sure. So
he came second in the Spurs versus Newcastle game that we did our BetMate debut. He came second in the leaderboard out of everyone in that one. So he's already took some money off with. I want him to wear the Newcastle top, man. He's mate,
that's our game. It'll be us 3. You, me, Keg versus Matt. There you go.
Happy days. Right, mate. Quickly, score prediction.
I know you said 1-1. I think my head says 1-1. My heart says 2-0 Wolves. Probably 2-0
Wolves. 1-1 could be the third 1-1 in a row between Newcastle. We haven't beat Wolves since 2011 in the league. But Newcastle looking for 4 home wins in a row now after a good spell before the international break. But anyways, Dave, I know you've got to shoot. You're going off. I'm going off to the pub as well. So enjoy yourselves. No problem, right? Cheers for coming on, mate. Appreciate your time.
My pleasure, mate. Cheers. I'll catch you soon. See you later.
Nice one, mate. Cheers for watching, everyone. Hit the link in the description. Sign up to BetMate. Subscribe to my channel TV. We'll see you later.